It's a sandbox. It's a soapbox. It's Fanbox. Welcome to the Real Study with your hosts, MrSniDBitS.
Because I do think the movie is good. I think the lighting is struggled. I think the cinematography is okay.
BlackGirlMarvel.
Follow us on everything, because we will find you.
All the movie things.
So many young filmmakers and indie filmmakers took it and just went with it, and it became this thing.
SniDBitS.
So that's what the story is, and then the film goes about answering that question for you.
And me, the Real Study movie voice guy.
I don't know if it's good or not, but I'm going to watch it. I'm going to try it.
Produced by Hyena. Let's go to the poster wall.
Hello and welcome to the Real Study. I am MrSniDBitS, and we've got a full panel this evening. We've got BlackGirlMarvel, Janine Devine, all the movie things, and the voice of the Real Study, Mickey CWK Smith, is with us this evening. We are on the third week of nostalgia from our childhood picks, and this week it's going to be BlackGirlMarvel's picks. And we've got The Jungle Book from 1994, starring Jason Scott Lee and Sam Neill, and a very young Lena Headey, which really threw me off. And then Tarzan, Disney's Tarzan from 1999, the extremely famous Phil Collins score and music, etc. We'll be getting to Explorers and Pump the Volume next week, but we'll get to that later. First, we're going to move over to the main wall and hear from Lala about social media.
What's happening, everybody? As always, we implore you to follow us on all social media. That's the TikToks, the Instagrams, the Blue Skies, the letter boxes, so you can see what we've rated other movies. That way, if you want to suggest a film, you can see what we already watched and talked about, and you don't want to repeat that. But maybe if it's a good one, you never know. You might add a different movie to it. You never know. But as always, make sure you follow us on all social media. We are on all podcast platforms, so the Apple, Spotify, Google, Podcast Public, all those on there. If you cannot watch us live, please listen to us. Give us a rating. That helps our algorithm. If you can watch us, we appreciate that too on all fronts. As you see, our names are on here as well. Those are all our handles online, but you should be able to see them within our channel as well. Go ahead, follow us separately, follow us together. We appreciate you being here. Back to you, MrSniDBitS.
I appreciate that. And of course, I know Janine has her podcast specifically. We've got both Morgan has never seen. I'm just going to add title or words to your title. And then It's a Wonderful Podcast. Both podcasts can be found all over the place, including all the same places the law just mentioned. And then Mickey is also on a few podcasts. Mickey, do you want to plug those real quick?
Give Me Back My Action and Horror Movies has their own channel, and I'm part of the B Action, which is like a sister show, right? Where we kind of talk about the lesser known action movies. We do that. I think we're releasing those every Tuesday now. They were Saturdays, and we're dropping every Tuesday. And we're having a good time with that. It's fun revisiting some old movies and finding some diamonds in the rough.
Which is why we, of course, had you on this month, because you are kind of the nostalgia guy. So we're going through our nostalgia, and we don't get to see you here as often as I'd like. Yeah. So I thought we'd try to have you a little bit. But we do have no real news to speak of, although I did hear a rumor that I thought might be interesting, but this isn't news. Letterboxd is going to be trying a new format, apparently, where they may be doing a video release of movies that are the deep cuts and hard to find movies on Letterboxd that are rated really high. So they may be releasing a subscription to where you can watch your watch list, even though it's not available virtually anywhere else. So I hope this is true, because that sounds really cool if they can get the rights to some of those movies that are very hard to find on there. That said, we do have the Reel Roundup. We'll get to that, and then we'll get to these two movies. The very first movie we're going to hear about today is a huge, big release, and Janine got to go see Wicked, the part 2. And I wanted to hear For Good, yeah. And I wanted to hear what you thought about that.
Yeah. So I first saw it with a double feature screening. So I saw both films back to back, and then I actually
Nice.
went last night and saw it again in 40x in 3D.
Sounds
Um,
good.
Nice.
so I think it's safe to say I actually maybe liked this one a little bit more than Wicked Part One. I
Okay.
kind of noticed with the third act of the first film, kind of right before you get to Defying Gravity, it really kind of drags for me. But for the second film, I was kind of fully engaged in everything going on. I loved getting to see characters kind of play into different things that they didn't really get to the first time around. I liked that this is more Glinda's film, where the first one was more Alphaba's film. So we kind of get to sit with her kind of inner conflict. I'm seeing a lot of people read this movie in some weird ways, like they're maybe kind of focusing a little bit too much on the Wizard of Oz of it all, and kind of distracting themselves with that, and kind of forgetting what the core of the story is. Because I don't think the film is trying to pull you too far away from the core of the story, but because it's such kind of a major kind of idea and the basis of this film, I think maybe people are struggling with that. But I enjoyed how much and how little they incorporated of the Wizard of Oz. I think they did kind of like the right amount, to have that just be a background element. I think the staging of the musical numbers were really well done. The songs were great. A lot of topical feeling things in there, particularly The Wizard has a song that feels very accurate to kind of how people can get taken in about things. So just a lot of relatable stuff. And I also like the darker, grayer tone of this film. I think people kind of expect did this movie to kind of end with a like happy kind of tone, particularly because of all the hopefulness in the first film. But I like that it feels a little gray in terms of where things go, uh, because that just feels a little bit more grounded, because not everything can be perfect. Sometimes there has to be kind of concessions and compromises in order to kind of move the needle. So I think that ends up being the message of this film, which I really liked. So overall, I really enjoyed all of it. I love the romantic elements, the kind of there's even a bit of kind of horror feeling elements in there.
Ooh.
Mm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I think it does kind of rush through kind of a lot of the finale, because I mean it's just adapting kind of one small portion of the rest of the play. So they had time to kind of maybe fill gaps, but they kind of just rushed through it a little bit. But I was still
Okay.
fully engaged with everything that was going on with these characters, and I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. I think the press tour has been pretty amazing too, because watching those two together, I think is just amazing.
Yeah.
They're so
Yes, and it's very
connected.
emotional, just like the
Yeah.
first film. You're probably going to be crying. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I've seen some funny memes about it as well, but hey,
Yeah.
hey, whatever. Mickey, you got to see Good Boy, which this will be the third person on the panel. Brian, did you end up getting to see it? I didn't ever find out if you didn't. Okay. Tell us what you thought about Good Boy, Mickey.
Yeah, so I'm trying to catch up with 2025 films. I've been behind, and this was kind of high on, like, critics lists, or at least I heard a lot of good things about it from other, fellow watchers of movies. But so I decided to rent it and check it out. I didn't know what to expect because it's only like an hour and 13 minutes, and I was like, okay, that's cool. I like short movies. The shorter the better. So I'd seen promotional materials for it, so I knew kind of what the gist was. But watching it, I really enjoyed it. I felt like it's a short movie, but it's still too long.
That's
Like,
what I felt too.
or at least they could have done something else, because we just I feel like we stay on the dog too long, even though he's the main, driving the character, I guess, of the movie. Like, everything's through his point of view. There's only so many times I can sit there and watch the dog look in a dark corner, and you know what I mean. Like, that's not a bad thing. It's sometimes it's like, that's really creepy. I really get it, but after like the fourth time, you're like, okay, yeah, it's creepy. Like, what else is happening here? But overall, I really like this story. It's really cool, like man's best friend kind of story. That dog is awesome. Like, did a great job. So cute. I tell myself I don't want a dog, and I shouldn't watch this movie because I was like, no, I want a dog really bad because it was so cool. But yeah, I mean, there's very little dialogue. The owner is pretty much the only one that really talks, and his sister every now and then when she calls. But yeah, It was fun. It was. I'm glad I watched it. Like, but yeah, I feel like this was a short film that was extended to make a feature film that really didn't need that. It could have been a really good short film. So, yeah, overall good. There was some scary stuff, some really creepy stuff, and they did a lot of good camera work, a lot of good effects. But other than that, I don't know. It could use a little more, a little something.
I agree with you. I think if they trimmed it 45 minutes somehow, cut it down, and I don't know what to cut. I'm not going to pretend to know what to cut, but that's awesome. I'm glad you got to see it. Lala, you got to see a Christmas movie that just came out. This one is Alicia Silverstone, and it's Merry Little. What is it?
A Merry Xmas.
There we go. Tell us what you thought about this one.
I think it's like a very
Xmas or Xmas.
Yeah, like EX.
EX, yeah.
Xmas.
So it stars Alicia Silverstone and Oliver Hudson, who I like both of them separately. So I was like, gotta watch them together because why not? And it's just like a fun little Netflix film where they're in the process of getting divorced. They live in a small town. They are like pillars of the community. Everybody knows them. And they've had some difficulties in their marriage. Neither one of them can see. Like, Alicia's character has issues with him working all the time, not really being around like the family. And then, he has issues with her kind of like wanting to control everything because she's like very much like, let's save the earth and sustainable, wares. And we'll get our clothes from the Salvation Army. We don't buy new things. Like, she's very much in control. So it's just a story of them and their family, also the town and how the town feels about them and how they kind of go their separate ways to realize that like maybe it took other people to be like, well, why didn't you just do this for them? Like they love you. Like, and she also gave up a prominent career in Boston to come to a small town. And she wants to make a difference, but not realizing that she is making a difference in this town via the people. So it's just like one of those very fun, kooky. It's quite silly in the sense of like that happened, like like I was literally like that happened in a scene, and so I feel like it doesn't take it so seriously. It knows what it's doing. It still has some heart. It still hits on some really like adult family like familial things. I think it's a watch. And it was fun and it was cute. And seeing those two kind of act together, it just felt like a family. It felt really nice. Like, Oliver. I feel like Oliver comes from a family like this, so he was like in his element a little bit, to kind of like be like a part of a kooky like crazy family, but it's also kind of endearing at the same time. So give it a go. It's on Netflix right now. I think it's a fun, feel good Christmas movie, and I like Netflix Christmas movies, so I'll be
me too.
Well, and we don't. There's not really enough Christmas movies that are substantial that like if they're good and you want to like watch and enjoy them. Yeah. So I'm glad to see more trying to get made. That's a good.
I can't wait to be in a Hallmark or Christmas movie. Like sometimes I think I'm gonna lose my mind the moment they're like, you're gonna be the girl from the small town that went to the big city that comes back for love, and I'm gonna be like, oh my god, like I'm gonna lose my mind.
See that credit? That would be you just want to see.
Oh my gosh! I'm like, yo, I'm on IMDb.
I know her.
I know her. I would love to do that too.
Yeah.
Please get on there so that I can be like, look,
you will absolutely
on the movie.
I'm doing this solely to be on a Hallmark film, and for you guys to be like, I know her. Like, that's the dream.
So it's a Steve Kerr movie. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So he's done a few comedies, so I can see the goofiness from his filmography. So that makes sense.
And it's like a guy in there that's obsessed with like Harry Potter, and it's
interesting. All right.
And really nobody knows what he's talking about, but a few people do, and so every now and again he'll be like Expelliarmus, and I'll be like, this makes no sense, but it's hilarious. So it's just fun.
All right. Check it out if you want another holiday Christmas movie to check out. I was corrected in chat about the Letterboxd thing. Apparently, it is 100% happening in December, and so please check that out if you are interested. I will definitely be checking it out. But thank you for the correction on that.
Oh my god! Can we see it? Can we see that video, please? I'm sorry, but I please want to see it. In the chat, our producer wrote that her brother-in-law saw what is it, Good Boy, or Good Dog. He watched Good Dog with his dog, and he sent her video.
He's like worried.
The poor dog looks horrified. I just want to see it. Like I know that's kind of morbid, but
No, but it's fun.
it's
That's
like
a
watching
great
dogs
video.
watch The Lion King for the first time. It's like one of the most traumatizing things.
Right. So we are writing no news tonight because there's not really anything huge talking about. But we do have 2 movies that we are going to review. We do this in release order. So The Jungle Book is going to be the first movie that we review. Who on the panel had seen this one before by a show of hands? So it looks like 3 of us had never seen this one before.
Love this.
And as by tradition, we try to go with those who have not gone before. And we have not heard from Brian tonight, so I'd like to see what Brian thinks of The Jungle Book, starring Jason Scott Lee.
Yeah, I was actually. I this might be a surprise too, but I haven't seen either of these movies before. So
Really?
a double
Me
whammy.
either.
The Tarzan.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it was
proud about those.
Well, it was 99 when Tarzan came out. I was like 19
Yeah.
Right.
in
Yeah.
the Navy.
That's what
I
it was
wasn't
me too.
So
into the
over
Tarzan
at Disney.
movie,
For that.
like, and yeah. So this movie, and like I'm sure we're gonna mention like all of the like similarities. There's like so many. It's
Yeah.
kind of
It's
crazy.
the same story. It's the
Although
same
this movie
story.
came first, so
Yeah.
Right.
but
Right.
and I don't know much about the book, so I don't know how if this is like closer to the book than the
Animated version.
classic version, but it was fun to see like how they worked those characters in, because all I know is the classic animated version, of course. And it was like nice. It's like it was a different take because he's an adult now. And you see some of the kid stuff early on, but yeah, it was like Stephen Summers, so this is like pre
Mummy. Yeah.
and so you can
I had
kind of
no
see some
idea.
of the me either, and like because you can kind of see some of those elements
Yeah.
that he utilized in this film, like that we see later on in the Mummy,
Yeah.
like especially
in
in
the
that
guy,
like
the
temple.
sand
The temple
one.
stuff.
with
Yeah, the
guy,
sand, like,
Yeah.
especially
with
all
the thought or
stuff.
whatever that was. Yeah.
Yeah, the quicksand like got me. I was like, oh man, there's quicksand in this. No. That was great. That guy deserved it. But anyway,
Yes, he did.
Absolutely.
right. So, but yeah, great cast. Like Sam Neill was great in this. Carrie Ellis playing, a slimy British bad guy,
Yeah.
which he's played multiple times.
He's
for
so
some
good at
reason.
that. Yeah.
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 Oh, well, I did have
Um,
trivia, and that was a piece of trivia. This was the first time he's ever played a villain. So.
Oh, that was the first time he played
This,
it.
this is what
He's like-
started it.
He like
So
really
this was
loved
a
it
whole
then.
like
And he was
line
like,
of
yeah. He was like, okay,
Interesting.
I really like
Interesting.
doing this.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then as Snitty mentioned, a young Lena Headey, and she did great. It's like she's almost unrecognizable because she's
Yeah.
pretty young.
Well, she's got the
It's like-
baby fat still,
I know
right?
she's
So
still
she
got
looks so
baby
young.
face.
So
and-
sweet
Yeah.
and
I
innocent.
know.
The
It's like,
casting was
oh,
great
man,
from her as a little girl
you're
to her as an
gonna-
adult.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 And it's like you just think about, oh man, you're gonna be in Game of Thrones.
300.
Like
Pretty
the
dark.
most
300, right?
yeah, 300.
Yeah, 300,
Yeah.
like, oh, man.
Yeah, my experience with her has always been like the sultry, like almost leading lady type,
Yeah.
And when I go back to this,
Sarah
I'm like,
Connor.
whoa, this is like, yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah,
Connor, and,
yeah.
yeah.
It's either a
dark stuff.
badass or
And
something
Judge
like
Dredd, like
Mama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
Judge
Mama,
Dredd.
yeah. So
If you're
yeah,
of a very particular demographic, there's a film called Gossip that she's in, like a college teen, like
Oh really?
thriller.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
man.
Yeah, with Norman Reedus, Joshua
She's
Jackson,
got range.
God.
Oh,
James
wow.
Marsden,
Wait, that's a
Kate
cast.
Hudson.
That's
Sister
a hell of a
Oliver.
cast.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
What is this called? Gossip.
Gossip.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep,
Interesting.
It's good.
All right. Any other
Yeah,
initial
it's
thoughts?
yeah. If I could it's a I loved like the animal stuff too. Like I mean there was no real like faking a lot of it. Like those are real animals. And like one of the things too is like they do two of the things they always tell you not to do is like never work with animals and never work with kids.
Yeah.
Right.
And you got
Yeah.
everything in this
Both,
with kids
yeah.
and animals. And so I'm
They
just
actually had to
thinking like
train the
this,
kid to work with the animals because he had
Yeah.
to carry around this
Right.
baby wolf.
no, totally, yeah. And so I'm thinking about that the whole time. Like, man, this must have been a nightmare to shoot with all these animals But yeah, it was enjoyable. It was fun to see. It was like a lot of adventure, and like it had a little bit of everything. I can see this. Like, I can definitely see why La likes this movie, because like around the age that she would have been watching this movie, like I assume you watched it pretty close to when it was out. So yeah, that would definitely be one to attach itself to. So, but yeah, it was a fun time.
I like it. Janine, let's hear from you, but do the trivia first and then tell us what you thought.
Yeah, I mean, you just went into Brian, so I didn't want to
I know, and I'm still so new to
I
the
was like,
trivia thing.
I'll just say the trivia when it's my turn.
terrible.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Well, yes, the thing about the animals, the live action film required the use of over 200 trained animals, including 50 tigers
200.
and 14 purebred wolves.
Oh my God.
14.
Yeah. The only animal that is not actually a real one is Ka. Due to the difficulty in training snakes, a combination of CGI, animatronics, and puppetry was used. Also, in the film adaptation, he is not referred to by his name. Only once he is referred to as the Great Snake by Mowgli. One of the few films that have the principal animal actors named in the credits. These animal actors were Casey, the main bear who played Baloo, Shadow, the main panther who played Bagheera, Shannon, the wolf dog who played Gray Brother, Lowell, the orangutan who played King Louie, and Bombay, the main tiger who played Shere Khan.
Nice.
And this is the first Disney live action remake.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing I want to mention too, was that I appreciate that it was a live action remake, but it was done in a way that I wish we would see
them
more.
do.
Yeah.
It's a remake, but a different take. Like, yeah.
And that's the whole reason why I didn't watch this movie, because I'm not a huge fan of the animated Jungle Book, and I thought it was just going to be that. So I'm like, this story is kind of boring to me, so I'm not going to watch it. But then seeing that it's basically Tarzan, which I love.
Yeah.
I was like,
Tarzan in India.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that he was grown up in this. So we kind of skip over all the stuff that I just was not like really ever resonating with in the animated version. So yeah, I liked kind of that he had this connection to the man world, and then loses that over time and then goes back to it. So I like that kind of connective thread there, that he kind of has a familiarity with these people, not just with the world of man, but with these particular people. So the connection kind of comes really easily. I mean, Carrie Elway's a great villain. All the beats that you kind of expect from a movie like this, very much like Tarzan. So, I think they did a really great job with the animal stuff, because obviously, I think also when I was looking at trivia, most of it was about all the crazy animal stuff. But yeah, like all the scenes where a person had to interact with an animal, it was all kind of green screen type stuff. And there were a ton of trainers. When somebody got attacked, it was a trainer.
Funny.
Yeah.
Especially the tiger.
I was looking for that.
Yeah. So anytime an animal interacted with the person, that person was a trainer. So there was a lot of kind of measures taken for that. So I think all of that really played well, and looked really good. It was really impressive. But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. It's just fun to me because I avoided it. I was aware of this film when it came out. I like saw
same.
and I was like, oh, Jungle Book's boring. And then it was like totally not what I expected the Jungle Book to be. So thank you, La,
for bringing it up,
for bringing it back around to me, so I actually know what it was working with. So
working with some good stuff.
So this was also my first time watching The Jungle Book. I am a fan of the Disney cartoon. It's something we watched a lot when I was a kid, and the songs are like always repeating in my head. So some of the things I really enjoyed were those little references where the guy calls him Man Cub, and then they talk. Like John Cleese makes a joke about Baloo, I think, at one point. The bare necessities, I think he says, and so they do sprinkle in those little added elements. It definitely felt, I agree with Brian on this, it absolutely feels like almost like how do I figure out how to make the Mummy here's the movie I'm going to do is like the precursor to it, and then I can get it done. Because he also wrote the screenplay for this, so like he has that like you know thing, this adventure thing that he can do, and he does it in a lot of his films. He also did Odd Thomas, which I was like, dude, I really like Odd Thomas.
Yeah, Odd Thomas is really good.
It really is. So like he's got it. Like there's a couple in there. I'm like, but like for the most part, he's got a great filmography. Seeing Jason Scott Lee in this, I had seen Bruce Lee or Legend, the Bruce Lee story, like 1,000 times when it came out. Just because I just love that movie. And so to me, seeing him act a lot differently than he did when he was playing Bruce Lee was nice. But then there was still some similarity. And then I looked up his filmography, and he's been going at it, like acting like crazy since then, and I just haven't seen him. And I looked at everything, I'm like, wow, I didn't see that. So now I got to go look for him again. But yeah, he of course plays the one of the Biff's grandkids lackeys in Back to the Future 2, which I love. But ultimately, I think it's got the great bad guy. Elvis does a great job of always playing a bad guy. I'm watching Stranger Things again, and he's a scumbag mayor in that, and it's literally just take him, put his English accent back, and give him a mustache, and you've got this guy from Jungle Book. Sam Neill felt like almost a throwaway character because they could. I feel like he could have used him a little bit more. And this was right after Jurassic Park, so you've got like he hadn't quite hit that that recognition, but he had made this movie right when Jurassic Park was releasing. So you can see that he maybe was underutilized. But yeah, John Cleese was also underutilized. That like you've got a great comedian here. Why aren't you like punching up a few more jokes? But overall, it's a Disney movie. It's an adventure movie. I can see why it is why it is. Not my favorite, but not bad. I'm not knocking the movie, but just it didn't knock my socks off. But I can see why, if I was 8, 9, 10, 11 years old when this came out, I would have jumped all over it. So I totally hear you, La. How about you, Mickey?
I adore this movie. I watched it, as soon as it came to VHS. I don't think we had DVDs about it. We might have had. I don't remember. But anyway,
94. No, still VHS.
90s. No.
Yeah. This was a rental for sure. I adore Jason Scott Lee. A lot of what you said, MrSniDBitS, is kind of how I was too. Like Jungle Book was on repeat in my house usually. I adore Baloo. He's like one of my favorite Disney characters of all time. I love King Louie too, and Big U. I love them all so much.
But the whole cast.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, to see them like this was like, this is awesome, right? Like, because I always wanted to like run with wild animals. That's so cool. Get to run with wolves and bears and stuff like that. And I totally forgot that Baloo gets shot in this, and I'm like trying not to cry on my couch with the kids sitting there watching that.
You're like,
yeah.
I was like, wait, no, this can't be happening. And then you see Jason Scott just running through jungle. I was like, man, I love this. Like I was intense. That's great. Man, I watched Dragon also on repeat. So Jason Scott,
right?
So like that's like one of my personal favorites is Dragon. So he's so great in this, even though he doesn't do a lot for the first half of the film, but dialogue wise, but that's okay. He's a really good actor. And Lena Headey, that's another. I was like, wait, I thought for a second I was like, that's not Daisy Ridley. She wasn't probably born yet, because that's what it kind of looked like.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I sat there for a second. I was like, wait, I know who that is. That's Lena. And I was like, this is awesome. I just like rediscovering little things like that. Like I didn't remember she was in this because I didn't really look up the cast list before I watched it or anything.
Right.
And I hadn't seen it in a really long time either. It's probably been 15, 20 years since I watched it.
And you don't know these people when you're a kid, like
no,
absolutely. Or whatever.
And you rarely remember them when you get older. Like I watched 300, and it didn't dawn on me that she was
that was her.
Kitty. That was her. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I probably knew who Jason Scott Lee was, and I knew who Sam Neill was from Jurassic Park, and that was kind of probably it. But now I know a lot of those actors. I'm like, oh, I know that guy. I know that guy. I know that slimy little sidekick to Carrie. I can't remember what he's off the top of my head, but he's been in some.
This was his first movie. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
But man, it was great too. I always connect it to my kids up here, but that's okay because a lot of this stuff is the first time for them too, and it's an old movie, so they're not used to this type of movie, right? They're just used to like CGI and animated stuff and like that. So even like when the snake's going on, my little kid was going, "Is that a real snake?" I was like, "I don't know, man. It might be." until they went to like the CG like close up of it, and it was like, "Oh no, it's not."
Slithering by, they did a great job of the slithering by.
They did.
Yeah.
And I've always been terrified of snakes, so that scene's always like was cool to me as a kid because I hate.
It was giving Anaconda.
It was. Well, it wasn't. He wasn't Anaconda in this anyway.
Yeah.
With the Burmese Python thing. But yeah, man, it's just a powerful movie as a kid. So the nostalgia was really hitting when I was watching it. And is it the perfect movie? No. Is it a lot of fun? Yes. I love that everything is real and tangible. It's not computer generated yet because they didn't have that. Sure, we have green screens, which can look a little silly sometimes. But I still feel more emotionally connected to films like that when I have like, Shere Khan's like imposed on top of the film with Mowgli like staring each other down. I know he's not there really, but it still has more of emotional or like, I don't know, some kind of impact on me than like it being a whole computer generated scene or anything like that. So I really appreciate that stuff.
Yeah,
I like that. I did have a question about that, Janine. Maybe you saw this in the trivia. I know, like in Raiders of the Lost Ark, when there's the Cobra scene, they actually put up glass between Harrison Ford and the snakes. So I was wondering, did any of that happen, or was there anything in the trivia about that kind of filming, or did they do what Mickey was saying and just do them separate and then put them over?
I didn't see anything about glass. It was mostly they just used green screens to kind of film those things separately and then put them together.
Okay. It's always interesting when you can get right there with them. So I wondered if that was an element. Lala, this was quick.
Sure was.
Yeah. You got to hear what we thought about it.
I loved it. I love to sit back and just listen to you guys talk because this is like heavy nostalgia for me. Like when we were trying to figure out these movies, I couldn't really. It's hard to go back in like the recesses of your mind to be like, what did I watch when I was a kid? Like it was very difficult for me. A lot of my stuff was like recent stuff, and I'm like I wasn't a kid when I was watching that. So and I don't know. I started thinking about like my old house. I had to really like push my memory, and this popped up in my memory, and I was like, oh my God, I was obsessed with this film. Like I was obsessed. Like every time I would come home from school, I would pop this VHS in. Like I would pop this in. I would pop in Tarzan because I had that on VHS before I ended up getting it on DVD when they ended up like remastering stuff and making it, DVD quality. So, and like I say, with all VHSs that I watch, I used to know by the sounds of the tape where to stop it. So I'll be like, oh, that's the beginning of the movie. Like I could hear the tape go back to a certain spot and go like, oh, there it is. And I would be right at the credits where Disney presents like every time. So it's like
skipping all the previews.
No, skipping all the previews because obsessed.
Yeah.
Rewatching this now with like my grown up eyes because I haven't seen this probably since like I would say like 96, 97 or something like that. I used to watch it a lot throughout my years, but it got to a point where I just, you kind of drop stuff as you get older and you just don't do anything. So rewatching this now, I felt like this film had like a little supernatural element to it, but it was they didn't like open it up a lot because, Mowgli has that, he tells his daddy he had a dream that a man came up to him and was like, you're only half a tiger now. And when you stare the tiger down, and his dad's like, so his dad's a great actor too, like the actor who played his dad. So to me it felt kind of like supernatural in that sense, because like why would this little boy have this dream comes to like fruition? So it was like he had like a prophetic dream, so it felt kind of spiritual, because I was catching things that I didn't really catch when I was younger, like little things that was said. So the nostalgia in me like lost my mind when the music started playing. Like it took me right back to my bedroom in my little rocking chair watching the movie. It just like took me back, and I was like, I like love because I watched it on my stream, and I was like, I was losing my mind, and then like I didn't remember. Only people I remember in this film was Jason Scott Lee and Carrie Elwes, because I was like, those are the only two that popped up in my mind because they were so adversarial that my brain kept up with them. So when they started doing the cast, I was like, Jason Scott Lee. I was like, okay, Carrie. I was like, Lena Headey. I was like, Neil. Yeah. I was like, John Cleese. I just kept like losing my mind.
Steven Summers. I was like, what?
I was like, what's going on? And then what's his name? Like the guy who played Mowgli's dad is Tarzan.
Yeah.
What's his name? I can't remember his last name, but I was like, wait. I was like, when I saw his face, I was like, wait, this dude is in everything.
Wasn't he like one of the 10 Rings guys? And
yeah,
he was like a
Ron
leader.
Tier.
He was
He's also a
in
captain
Star Trek.
in Star Trek. Like,
That's
yeah.
right.
So my brain was just like,
he's on a lot of TV.
actor. You know, it's just like,
yeah.
and
And
as
he's
an
also
actor,
the
it's just
main bad
cool.
guy in Iron Man. That's
Yeah, he was.
what-
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what Jenny just mentioned.
Oh, I didn't.
Wow. No.
Wow, yeah, I'm the worst.
Wow.
I'm
Terrible.
just gonna leave in shame now.
Yeah, it's okay.
Go ahead,
We get
Laura.
it.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry about that, Janine. No, it was just cool seeing actors like where they come from and like where they go. And just to see that.
Oh, yeah.
That funny realization that now that you're like this movie person, you're like, I know all these people.
Right, like because back in '94, she was just starting.
Right.
Just starting. But I love this film. I felt like even with my adult eyes, I was like, "Ooh, look at that CGI." I was like, "Ooh, look at that green screen." A couple of times, I was like, "Ooh, that green screen's a little tight."
Yeah.
I was like, you know, I was like,
they
"Ooh,
like
that
use
CGI
green
on that."
screen in like scenes of Lena Headey, like
in the background,
Like,
like behind her,
like,
yeah.
why
Like
is
in her
that
tower,
green?
like when
They
she was
couldn't-
in her
like, you couldn't
bedroom, I was
shoot that
like,
what?
on a
we
set,
just couldn't
like,
get that for real, for real.
My kid was like, "Is that AI?" I was like, "Dude, AI wasn't even a thing back then." I was like,
oh no.
But he could, that told you he could tell something was
Right.
wrong.
You
Like
could-
that's
No,
black power,
absolutely, yeah.
That was his.
It looks weird,
That's
yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, those monkeys aren't real, but those are. I was like, just like
Yeah,
pointing
it was
out stuff
funny
like
seeing
that's
what-
not.
Yeah.
Before a film that came out in 1984, like I give it all the passes for the
solid.
most part.
Yeah.
I love the story. I mean, it's that typical like, other like somebody different from you, you feel challenged, so you become a dickwad. So like it's like that typical like story, which is always like an interesting thing to see. I will say that like nobody listened to that girl. That girl tried to open her mouth every 2 seconds,
my God.
and these
No.
men were talking over her. I was just like,
Yeah.
listen to this girl speak, please.
Yeah.
And it's always greed. I like these movies from the 90s. Like when I was a kid, it's always about how greed leads you to death. Greed leads you to, and we're just in a world of greed in 2025. So it was just like I think we need to find more films like this or like create more films like this because like as a kid, it just shows you like. For me, it showed found family. It showed, that you could be one with nature. You can be one with the animals. You can live a life that isn't filled with gold as long as you have like great people around you to share it with. So like this will always be a great film for me. I love the action. I don't know. Something about a man acting like an animal, top notch for me. I don't know what it is.
I get it, girl.
Give on, Jenny, you get it. It's top notch for me. Add on the fact too that he's a sweetheart. Like he's just a sweetheart. Like
the
even
whole
in
flower
learning
thing.
how these
Yeah.
the flower thing, trying to kiss her every 2 seconds. I was like, it's the cutest thing ever. Like he
But
don't
animal
know.
empathy, seeing all the when he walks in and sees all the heads, and he's devastated by that.
And so, even in that scene, I felt like it's still like they were just sprinkling supernatural elements and not really diving into them because like they were hearing he was hearing like it was gunshots and animals and it almost felt like he could hear it and he could feel them. It just felt very kind of like a touch, like they didn't want to go too far into it. And it made me want to read the book because I'm like, well, maybe that book has more of that where Disney kind of like on both aspects kind of just dropped it a little bit because, this little boy talking to animals, like I wouldn't be surprised if like, because you just learning how to speak like a snake and a leopard and a jaguar. Like you just learning these things. I'm like, it has to be some type of supernatural element, but overall,
I think that you're right because he can literally growl like a tiger. So
it's something. I feel like but I just felt like the live action kind of they just kind of sprinkled it and they just like left it. It was like y'all, it's just what it is because 90s kind of like they'll go with something and they'll be like, I don't like it, and they'll just drop it in the middle of the movie.
He had to talk to them on some level. He had to communicate with them, otherwise he wouldn't be hanging out with them.
Absolutely. But my favorite part of the whole film is the whole film is great. But one of my favorite parts that I remember very much is when he gets captured and Wilkins is going crazy, like, can you get him to shut up? Like all the animals are like just crying out for him, and then he just howls into the night and it goes like silent. And I'm like, that's worse. I'm like, that's worse to be so quiet, for the jungle to be so quiet.
Right.
And I just love that. I just love that like he is like the leader of their of the whole jungle pack. I just kind of like love that. I love that that he started as like this little kid that turns into like this grown man that commands such respect, and he kind of does it even in the man's world. Like, you know, he got respect from John Cleese's character. He got respect from like Kitty, like, and just from being himself. Like, he doesn't have status or privilege or money, and that to me is what made Carrie and his crew, Boone and his crew, kind of like look at him, because like even at the end when he's fighting them, he's like, what do you have that I don't have? You know what I mean? He's like, what do you have that I don't have? This like showing where his jealousy stems from. And I just love that Mowgli never lost like a sense of humor. He always was kind of like silly and funny and stuff like that. So I don't know. I just love this film so much. It's so great, and I'm happy y'all liked it. So yeah.
I had one part that did infuriate me, and it was watching all these British soldiers fire their rifles from their hip. I was like, what
These
are
guys
you clowns doing?
They were
with
shooting like
this?
stormtroopers, man. They were
Oh my god, yeah,
They
and
were,
like what's his
pointing
name?
up. I'm like, what
What's
are
his
you
name was having
shooting
such
at?
a
Like,
what's his name was having such a struggle like reloading
Wilkins.
something. I'm like, you're a soldier.
Yeah.
right.
Are you like
Get it
you're supposed to
You're
be able to do
supposed to
that
train
under
that
pressure?
out of you.
Together,
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
They didn't.
That's
But
what
he's a
drove me
weasel at the
nuts.
same
Yeah, I was like,
time. I was
oh,
like,
these guys are
Yeah,
crazy.
so civilly. Yeah.
I remember I always liked that part as a kid too. I felt like now being like who I am now, I was watching this like that boy is acting. Like he was acting.
Yeah.
You understand me? Like running away from nothing. That boy was acting. Like he could turn it around, like sweat on his face, and he's like
Well,
he
this
looks
was his first
genuinely
role. He had
terrified.
to count. Yeah.
I said,
Right.
that baby said, I'm on set. I know my lines. Just tell me what to do. I said, come on. He was acting. I loved everything about it.
Brian mentioned the quicksand, and I wanted to bring that back up because there's something about quicksand before 2000 where my wife mentioned that. She said she grew up always assuming that quicksand was a real problem, like a worry that you would run into somewhere in the world because movies taught you that. And it's not even a real thing, really, let alone.
And sometimes it's like a muddy puddle, and sometimes it's like actual sand. Like,
well, when he falls in, like you see how much water. I was like, just swim, dude. Like it just
watery, but
just water.
He was like, it got my leg. It's pulling me down. Ain't no swimming without no legs, man.
That wasn't quicksand. That was just mud.
Yeah, it was like a deep mud. It was a deep mud pit. But the thing that killed me,
though.
it was in his mouth. I was like,
Oh, man.
I was like,
It was.
it was in his mouth. I was like, that's some acting right there too. Because Lord have mercy, I could never.
Yeah, that would be a lot. I do feel like his friend could have got him, but he was like, "It's too far." It was a little bit more. It was very Titanic.
And then
like,
he curses him as he's going down. He's like, F
right.
you guys.
But think about it, they all did because he ended up shooting the one dude in the leg, like because he thought it was Sher Khan. So he took out the team himself, like nobody else had to.
And then Carrie Elwes's reaction when he comes to
It's like, well,
to the quick, like, well, no point in worrying about every little thing. I'm like, what?
No, like
Someone
for
just
real?
died.
Literally just and then I like this callback with Kitty when she goes, "What a shame."
Exactly.
Oh yeah,
he whips the rock over his head.
It's like move it on, like they're all looking at her like, "How dare?" Like, no. It's like a couple of lines in here that's like could be taken corny, but I've always loved them. Like when he's like, where you can hear Wilkins dying, and he's like, Wilkins, he's screaming from at the top of the little thing. He's like, Wilkins, and he's like, well, you could die here too, and she's like, he won't let me die. I was like, she's a boss. I'm like, she's a boss because he won't let her die. I was like, she's good. She's fine. Love it. Yeah.
I do love it. Any other thoughts on The Jungle Book from 1994?
I mean, I guess just one more thing. When Lau was talking about it, kind of made me think about, this is actually like a core memory to kind of developed who I was going to be. Because a lot of these things, like I took as like lessons, you know what I'm saying? Like the way you treat animals and people, and like, as I was watching, I was like, oh man, like a lot of stuff was flooding back, and I was like, is this something that kind of like really took a grip on me and kind of told me who I was going to be going forwards? And I think it was, you know what I'm saying? So
I agree. I throw Free Willy in there too, because I was like, can't be saved. Like I was like, we gotta save the wall.
Actually. That one didn't get
Free
brought
Willy
up.
broke my heart as a child.
Yeah. Brian, what do you rate The Jungle Book?
I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
7.5. Janine, is it 7.5?
Yes.
She already knows.
So I'm gonna give this one a 6.5, but it's only because I'm just not going to watch it again. It's not because I think it's bad. It's just it's right under that 7 threshold where 7s are a rewatch for me. So that's why I'm gonna give that. Keys?
I'm thinking I'm gonna go 8.5. I love it to death. It's so great. There were, like you said, some distracting things like bad green screen, or like there was some hard cuts and edit too that were just like, oh wait, it kind of jarred me. But overall, it's just too good for me to like give it anything less than that. I think I just love it.
All right, and then Lala.
Come on, man.
Nostalgia.
Come on, nostalgia is taking a hold. Okay, it's a 10. Do you understand me? It's a full on 10. Nostalgia has wrapped me in its arms and told me shush and to rate this as a 10. So that's what I'm doing.
Nostalgia quicksand she's in.
Yes,
there it is. There it is.
Absolutely.
Nostalgia quick
But if I didn't have nostalgia, I'll be real. If I didn't have nostalgia, it would still be like a 9. It would still be like a 9 because I discovered new things that I didn't like just feeling like it has a supernatural element was something different that I didn't really get when I was a kid that I kind of saw now that I felt like they just kind of dropped by the wayside and and just the composition of like how they wrote some things. Like I thought it was gonna be way cornier when I watched it now than as I was a kid. Because when you're a kid, like most of them words don't mean nothing to you. Baloo is what I got, Bagheera. Like I don't know nothing else of what they're talking about. But now I was like, oh, it's not as corny as I thought. As I thought it would be as an adult now. So yeah, so it would still be a 9, but definitely a 10. Goggles on tight. Okay.
I like it. We all have I have tons of those movies on my list. They're 10s just because they're 10s. All right. So we're going to move on to the second pick that Lala did, and that is Tarzan, the 1999 release from Disney. And this one is a story about a guy lost in the woods, found by a British girl, etc. It's weird. It's
there's like a professor character. There's
a semi British guy with a rifle.
There's a hunter. And,
the biggest difference is Mowgli was raised by wolves. Tarzan was raised by gorillas. The biggest difference.
Well, and to be fair, too, like. Tarzan doesn't have any kind of real connection to the world of man.
To the world of man,
because he's a baby, and like where Mowgli, spoke English and like before that, and like knew of the world of man. So that's kind of a.
It was like a having like lost it to find it to never having it to finding it.
Yeah.
So Brian, you and I both have never seen this, but everyone else has. Okay.
Nice. Wow.
Okay. So this is a. I had you go first on the last one, I guess, because Law is insisting that the one of us that haven't seen it go first. I'll go first.
Well, I do have trivia.
I was literally going to say.
Wait a second. We're not doing this again.
You do trivia first? Is that what it is?
I'm getting in there.
Trivia is a new thing.
Another time, okay? Let me get my trivia out.
Yes. The signature Tarzan yell is provided by Brian Blessed, the voice of Clayton, the villain. Because after noticing that poor Tony Goldwyn could not make a convincing scream, Blessed went to one of the producers to tell him that he could do it. The producer refused at first, but after he yelled in front of him, he accepted.
That's a way to get it.
Good one. It was a good one too.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was really good. The reason why the character of Turk is female in this movie is, according to producer Bonnie Arnold, when male actors auditioned for the part, none of them clicked. When Rosie O'Donnell stepped into audition, it worked and she got the part. Arnold said, of the gender change, you don't have to be a guy to be a best friend.
That's right.
That's a good point.
Yeah. And I also read they originally wanted Chris Rock for the part of Turk.
Wow.
That would have changed it completely.
Yes.
I would have hated it.
He didn't even audition. He turned it down immediately and was kind of offended by the offer for some reason.
Okay.
So,
I'm assuming because he's a black man, but shut up, Chris Rock. Anyway.
Animator Glenn Keane has a son who was very into surfing, skateboarding, and snowboarding, which has inspired him to incorporate those movements into Tarzan.
Man.
This is how Tarzan ended up with the ability to slide through the jungle trees rather than just swinging on vines. They also looked at Tony Hawk for inspiration on some of his moves as well, because Tony Hawk at that time particularly. The first Disney animated movie to open at #1 at the box office and to win an Academy Award since Pocahontas.
Nice.
Okay.
Professor Porter mentions Kipling, as in Rudyard Kipling,
Yeah.
who is known for writing The Jungle Book, which was adapted into a few Disney movies. Tarzan bears a resemblance to the Beast's human form from Beauty and the Beast, since both of them were animated by Glenn Keane, which I find funny because a lot of people think Tarzan's hot, but think Prince Adam is ugly. So
Which is crazy
That's
to
weird.
me.
they look kind of the same to
They're-
me. So.
They
There
do.
has to be a connection to this movie because we see the furniture too at the camp.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
we
Paying
see
attention,
Spot.
you could see
And
some
the
of the
teapot,
furniture.
and the
Yeah.
teapot
we
with
see
Tip and his
Spot
mom.
Tip
Yeah,
in the
yep,
camp as
yep.
well.
Wow.
This film ended the Disney Renaissance, which was my favorite era
Yeah.
of Disney. I was
Yep.
not a huge fan of the Jungle Book era of Disney. I think the only film I liked from that era was Robin Hood. So I was a huge Renaissance person. So I love this movie.
What was the first movie in the Renaissance? Do you remember?
Little Mermaid?
Yeah, it had to be Little
Right,
Mermaid.
Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
89?
I am a Renaissance kid, is what you're saying. 'Cause
Yeah.
that hit right when I was like 12. So
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
perfect.
Phil Collins and Glenn Close worked together in Hook, but in separate scenes. Collins was a policeman, and Close was a pirate in drag. So
Yeah, I love that. I love that
this
scene.
film as well.
I love her scene.
Also, just a fun little thing. There's a scene where they flip Jane's dad upside down and things fall out of his pocket, and one of those things is a keychain of little brother Mulan's dog.
Oh,
Oh, that's cute.
little fun extras.
Yeah,
Cute.
yeah.
All right. Any other trivia, or is that?
That's pretty much it.
That's it. All right. I guess I will then go into what I think of Tarzan. So I'm like Brian. To me, this one did not hit my radar at all because it was 1999. I was in my 20s. I did not care, would not care about a Disney movie. The last one I saw before this in theaters that I was excited about was Lion King, which was phenomenal, and I enjoyed it. I do love the story of Tarzan, so it is weird that I just never at least tried this story, but
Go back to it.
But I think this lays out really nicely. I can't say that I was excited to watch it because I don't do well with animated movies these days, just because I have kids and they oversaturate us with it to the point of I'm just like, ugh, I need the live action just to balance it. It's not that animation is bad, it's just you get too much of it and it becomes a problem. The style that they did of the like movement, which was very Beauty and the Beast, because they kind of took what they did with the ballroom scene and kind of amped it up.
Yeah,
which
they
was
did like a
great.
lot of 3D elements and
Yeah.
computer graphics and
And
stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I love that because they use it through him through all of the jungle and everything, and it's smooth, and they got some really dynamic shots. Even when they like come up on him as a character, they'll continue the artwork to move slightly and give it a much more like live action-y dynamic feel. So I really enjoyed that. I did love Tarzan as the character. I love that he picked up on things very quickly and was able to learn the language fast, even though it didn't seem like he could. He's very intelligent and just kind of was dialed in. If I had seen this when it had come out, I think I would have gone for Jane as my Disney princess over Ariel. And I didn't even realize that. I was like, wow, I really like Jane. This is amazing. She's a great character. She's spunky. She's funny. She's got a head on her shoulder. She's got everything figured out. And she's almost out of her element at the same time because she's always wearing that yellow dress. And I like that she finally kind of gets into garb that kind of fits what she's trying to do as the movie progresses. Her dad is hilarious. Clayton, just like anybody, just like Gaston, can somebody just get rid of this guy?
And he has a pretty dark ending as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
yeah, like very
I was
dark
watching this
ending.
movie. I was like,
Right?
this is,
I was just like, wow, they're really just showing
is for
this.
kids.
Like,
I was
I was
hoping.
a psychopath as a child.
Like,
Got
Did he
it.
grab the sword? Did Tarzan grab that sword? Because I
No.
think he should have.
no, I
That
mean,
should have become his sword.
No, it
But
fell.
that's just me.
yeah. Like, I mean, the whole orchestration of that scene was really great. That, like, the knife comes down, Tarzan comes down, and then we just see with the lightning
just the-
flash.
Yeah.
Like, it's so well put together.
It's good.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Brian, let's hear what you think about Tarzan before we get into the nostalgia of it all.
Yeah, it's great. I was like actually kind of blown away by it, and that I was surprised that I hadn't seen it sooner. And I don't know why, like, again, it was like an age thing too, but also like I had have revisited a lot of those other films since, but Tarzan wasn't one of them. And I like that they use a lot of Phil Collins music as a way to like bridge that gap
Chapter
of like there's
story.
no actual like songs in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, there's no
Mhm.
one like singing except for the little like,
Camp,
jazzy
camp song. Yeah.
the campsite thing,
Yeah. And that was a purposeful choice.
which
They
has
wanted
like
to steer
NSYNC in
clear
it
of the
apparently.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah. They wanted to steer clear
um
of this show toony vibe of other Disney films. So they
yeah, which is
purposely
like
picked him. Yeah.
fine, but I think it would have been fine too with it, like because
Yeah.
it's I mean it is a Disney film. It's part of that.
True.
A lot of
Yeah.
the other Renaissance films
Mhm.
had that. So, but yeah, I did like how they were able to like use Phil Collins music as a way to like supplement that. The animation's incredible.
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
I mean, a lot of animation is great nowadays, but this is like such a great mix. Like the whole storm scene, like
The
the
opening.
fire and the ship and the water was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like that water is
Yeah.
incredible.
So
Like I always
dynamic.
pay attention to hair and water when it comes to those kind of things.
Yeah.
Because those are like the hardest
Those
things
are
to
hardest.
animate.
Yeah.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, it's
Yeah.
like
It is.
they're so flowy and like
Mhm.
organic, and so the water was incredible. Yeah, and like Stinny mentioned, there's a lot of great camera work in this, and a lot of it's fluid. There was one weird thing I noticed. It was the only thing that drew me out, where it's like, oh, his head got. There was a weird dynamic shot they're trying to try, but they weren't like matching. Tarzan's face got kind of like stretched out a little bit and weird and distorted a little bit. But I was like, but other than that, that's just me being picky and noticing those things. But story wise, it's great. It's like so many elements from the Jungle Book that we just mentioned. I mean, even literally like they used Mowgli and they used Tarzan to find a way to the thing that they wanted to get. You know what I mean? Like they
Yeah.
both did
Yeah.
There was
that
a
too. Like
prize at
both
the
bad
end that
guys.
they were both
Yes,
looking
there
Yeah.
was a thing that they both wanted, a goal.
Both
and
of
they
them
used
manipulated,
Tarzan
and they both used the
for
women to
Mowgli.
do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like
One
that's the
used brute
conduit.
force, and the other one used love to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So, yeah, without Mowgli or without Tarzan, they would not have been able to find the thing that they were wanting to find.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was actually got more emotional with Tarzan than I did with
Yeah.
Jungle Book. So that's why I think I ended up liking Tarzan a little bit more than the Jungle Book. Like what is the lead gorilla's name?
Kerchak.
Kerchak.
Kerchak. Yeah, like
Yes.
Lance
I mean,
Henriksen.
Lance Henriksen.
Yeah,
Like,
baby.
what a
really
role,
great.
What a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that whole like moment that they have, where he finally
At the
accepts
end.
Tarzan,
Calls him
and,
son. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
It's like you've
yeah,
always been
and then
one of us.
potentially like, and the whole, I mean, and like Laud mentioned too, like it's about like a found family, and Tarzan doesn't know any better. He just knows like these are my people, my family.
Yeah.
Like even that hesitation to say mother when he sees that picture of his actual mother, and he can't say it in front of her.
My mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think like so many people like me, myself, I have like a whole other family that's a found family, and I resonate with them so much more than my actual family.
Right.
So it's yeah, really, I think that's probably one big reason also why I connected with it so much more. But yeah, it's pretty great. It's one of the better animated films of that era for sure.
I like it. Just to clarify, because this has been a topic for the whole evening, whether Jungle Book or Tarzan, because they are basically a lot of the same story. But apparently, Jungle Book was published first in 1894, and then Tarzan was literally inspired by the Jungle Book. So
wow.
I'm glad we watched them. We're talking about in this order because that actually makes sense too.
Yeah, because like
Lala,
the first
you want to go last again?
Yeah, I can go last. The first book of the Jungle Book, I think, came out like in the 1800s. So it's like
1894.
Okay, 1894. I thought you said 1994. I was like, that's the movie.
No, 1894. It was released the same year they adapted the movie.
Same year the book.
Yeah, I was like,
but
like
it was like Spaceballs, the movie. They grabbed it off the shelf, and just did it. Why don't we go with Mickey, then we'll hear from Gene, and then La. Mickey, Tarzan.
Okay. I also didn't watch this when it came out, right? So I think I just hit that age where I wasn't paying attention to Disney movies anymore. So I kind of skipped over this one for some reason. I don't know why, but it's something I revisited once I had kids. My oldest son,
Mhm.
I don't remember how he heard about it or whether, but he wanted to watch Tarzan. I was like, all right, let's watch it. And it was a banger, man. I was like, I can't believe I skipped this. Like, what was I thinking? Especially considering like I'm a huge Phil Collins fan. So I was like, this is beautiful. My man put on a clinic making this soundtrack. Like, they were like, we need you to make a soundtrack
like,
for an animated movie
and everything too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We need you to make a soundtrack for an animated movie, and he probably made one of his best albums of all time. Like,
Absolutely.
One of You'll Be in My Heart, I think, won the Oscar.
Yeah, man. And Brian hit on it, and I was going to talk about the found family thing, just the whole mother dynamic with him, because she lost her baby and he lost his mom, and it kind of worked out where they came together.
They
needed each other.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it's amazing.
And Kerchak's awesome. That's something I always like draw to because it's just that tough, rugged male role model that you just can't seem to impress, but you probably are. He's just being tough about it. He doesn't want you to know that he cares about you. He know that you're doing a good job, and he's just kind of like, yeah, whatever, man, it's cool. I really love that. How that you see in the end. You talked about it. He's like, "You're my son." I was like, man, I'm dying over here. Especially considering Lance Hendrickson's like. He's probably number 3 on my list of like Peter Cullen, Keith David, then Lance Hendrickson, right? Like when it comes to like voice actors and stuff for me. So it's so good. Clayton is a really good bad guy. He might be like one of my top 5 Disney villains all time. He's just a scumbag, man. Like, I like the ones that are not like Scar and these guys that just are not no redemption. Nothing good about them. Right? Nothing relatable really, other than the bad stuff you try to not portray. I love the Jane chase, like when they first meet and she's trying to get her pictures back from that little monkey, and all those baboons are back there, and that whole chase scene is just great. It's so much fun when they're running, and we see all the skater and surfer elements of him going through the loops of the trees and all that stuff. It's just a lot of fun. It's funny. It's fun. I have a good time. And there's again, man versus nature. But man is, usually the bad guy in that situation because he's trying to exploit it, just like we saw in the Jungle Book. Like, So I love all that stuff. That stuff always like resonates with me really well. It's a great movie. It's a good story about family. No notes, man. It is awesome. This one didn't get. Maybe it did get the love. I just didn't give it the love it deserved when it came out. So
yeah, same.
That's fair. All right, Janine, let's hear what you think about Tarzan. And again, I know you made an awesome video on TikTok and other platforms showing your collection. And I love seeing those because you're busting out those old DVDs, which you do have there. What did you think about watching Tarzan this time, or even compared to when you saw it originally?
Yeah, no, I absolutely love this movie. I think I love it so much because it felt more mature than other Disney films. I mean, we're seeing dead bodies up in here, blood and the kind of carnage of what happened to his parents. With Clayton, and the romance aspect felt far more intimate and less kind of like light flirty. Like it felt really intense. Like even that clip that you used for the promo with, her and the chalkboard, like
rolling over the chalkboard.
Leave you in the chalkboard alone.
Yeah, it's just the way like he touches her and they look at each other. It's way more intense than like your typical Disney movie. So of course,
the way he puts his head against her to listen to her heart.
Chest, yes.
Whoa.
She's feeling some type of way about it. Like he doesn't know what that means.
Yeah, no, totally. Yeah.
He doesn't know what to do with herself.
No.
So yeah, like I'm a mushy gushy, lovey dovey, romancy girly. So seeing how mature that stuff felt, differing from other Renaissance films, I was absolutely obsessed with. It hits all the tones really well. Like even in the scene where she first finds Tarzan, like they're playing comedy and like serious like action scares all at the same time. Like he's just rolling around laughing all silly, and like she's like freaking out trying to stop the cheater from getting him. So
Right.
you see the balance of the tones really well in scenes like that, and just like the emotional impact as well. When he's all dressed in his suit and he's gonna go with Jane, and like he
Like,
has
you'll
that
always
really
be my mother.
cheerful,
Mhm.
yes, and her just basically like, I just want you to be happy, whatever you choose.
Yeah.
I'll always be with you.
And that one tear comes out her face. I'm like, why is the gorilla crying right now? Like,
right, right. Yeah, I mean, all the kind of kid essence comedy stuff, with little kid Tarzan and his friends, Tantor and Turk and all of that was fun. But I just loved kind of the maturity of this film, because you go into a Disney movie, not really expecting that. And so feeling like, okay, this is kind of made for all ages.
mhm.
I think that was kind of maybe one of the first animated Disney movies where I felt like, this is like bridging the gap a little bit, I think, here with Disney animated films. So yeah, I mean, I really love it. But I wanted to ask everybody, like, what is your favorite song? So
Oh,
mine's Strangers Like Me.
Yeah, that's the one. Can you show me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a great one.
is the "You'll Be in My Heart"? That's the one that keeps playing in my head.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that's
That's
the
like
one I like
the
the most.
big one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's too catchy not to like it.
Right.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to go with Strangers Like Me, because it got a nice bop to it, and like it's you just see his growing, his thinking, his
Yeah.
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 It's a great song to pair with those scenes.
Yeah.
I like it. Lala, you
Yeah,
picked Tarzan.
I sure did. Loincloth number 2.
What's behind loincloth number 1? Oh, yeah, no,
Yeah.
never mind.
Honestly, if we still did 3 movies, I would say George's Jungle, because might as well
Oh my God.
Yes.
solidify that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Make it full circle. But this is a film that I watch, like I said, all the time. I'm surprised I still have the VHS. Like, I'm surprised that
Oh, nice.
I'm not sure if it still works. Like, I still have like a lot of the classic Disney on VHS.
That's cool.
In those big poofy packages.
In those
Yeah,
big, in those
Yeah.
big,
Yeah.
in those big white,
Clamshell.
those
Right.
white styrofoam that they
Yeah.
just put the picture in it.
Yeah.
I have those in storage. I have so many like of those that I just kind of like just bought the DVDs of, because I'm like, we're in the DVD era and it's not going anywhere. So, but those are just like nostalgia, just kind of sitting in
Who
storage.
wants to rewind tapes anymore? That's all I'm saying.
I low key kind of do a little bit, just because, just for the nostalgia of it. Not every day, but I get into a mode where I want to hit rewind, and it doesn't hit the same on my PlayStation or a remote. It's just
That's
when
a
I'm
fair
doing it
point.
on TV. But I love this film. It had a big effect on me as a kid. And I don't really even understand in what way. I don't know if it made me nicer to people or nicer to animals. It made me like, I'm very much like I'll sit and listen type of thing. Like, I'll watch you. As creepy as that sounds, like like I'll watch you and listen. And I feel like Tarzan watches and listens, and I think I picked that up and just kind of took that into my life in some type of way. But I love this film. I thought Tarzan, and I still think to this day, Tarzan is so cute. To find out that it's the
Tony
president who
Goldwyn.
voices him, I said,
Yes.
wait.
Oh
I
my gosh.
said, wait. I didn't realize that it was Tony Goldwyn as a child, and then I got older, and I was like, why does Tarzan's voice sound so familiar? Because I was watching it one day, and I went and looked it up, and I said, wait a minute. I said, Tony Goldwyn. Oh, my God. Like, so.
Yeah, it just made him like 10 times hotter.
It
Somehow.
made him like 1,000 times hotter, because it was just like, he has like this, like, because if you saw
That
him in
aura.
Scandal,
Oh,
in
yeah.
Scandal, and then you kind of revisit Tarzan, I was like, no wonder I felt this way as a child. I was like, I
Yeah.
didn't understand what was going on, but now I understand what was happening as a child. But like, I just love this film. I feel like it's funny, but also it's a hard like take, in my opinion, on being adopted. Like, it shines a light on being adopted. Like, the scene always makes me sad when he runs like away. Essentially, he runs away a little bit, and he finds
And
himself
puts the mud on his
looking
face.
at his he puts the mud on his face,
Yeah.
and like, because he wants to look like think about mixed race kids, or think about when like maybe a black family adopts a white kid, or however it is, or vice versa. Like,
Mhm.
when you don't have the same like skin tone and people treat you different, but like you got this one person that loves you, it's still hard. Like, where do I fit in? And he has such a great mom. Like, she was such a great mom. Like, she's just like Like, how many fingers you got? Can you hear, like, how many toes you got? Like,
Two
listen
eyes
to
like
my
me.
heart.
Yeah.
Like,
That was a
Yeah.
great moment.
Yeah.
you know, it's such a beautiful moment, and it's such a moment that I feel like the world just needs to encompass, because like we all got some of the same elements. Like, we all have beating heart, we all got like red blood. Like, let's just, and this film to me embodies that a lot. And I think growing up is just, it's just, I think it made me a more tolerable person. I think like it was starting that work of me having like a patience and a tolerance for like anybody or anything,
More compassionate.
and more compassionate, you know, empathetic towards and sympathetic towards everyone. And I don't know, I just find it fun. Like the campsite scene, that song is always great, especially when you hear NSYNC sing it. So it's just even better. Even
I
better.
was watching the DVD features on that
Yes.
playlist.
It's so good. It's so good. So it's just like, I feel like all the voice actors are top notch. Like Glenn Close as the mom is amazing. Minnie Driver as Jane. Is
Yeah, she did a lot of
so
ad libbing too
goofy
of her lines,
and-
like that whole
Oh,
monologue.
really?
Where,
It's
Daddy,
it
I
seems
lost
like
my boot.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
like,
Okay.
but then you see that you
feel like
see
a
her
lot of
on
Minnie
Will and
Driver in
Grace.
that.
You see her on Will and Grace, and you see she's hilarious as a comedic actress. And so it's just, I thought she was great in this, because it's like she had to do a lot of like like a lot of screaming and yelling,
Yeah, a
and
lot
then
of weird
like
sounds
so
and animal
much,
sounds and
like so many sounds, and
Mhm.
Almost like video game level, having to like add in all those sounds.
yeah. And so like she had to put in a lot of work for that. Rosie, I'm sorry, this might sound crazy, but there's no Tarzan film without Rosie O'Donnell being Turk, because because Rosie O'Donnell killed this role. Like, even whoever, and I'm not sure if she voiced Turk as a kid,
She
and
did.
maybe
I
she
don't-
did. I think
She
she
did?
did.
Yeah, I think they
Like,
changed.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
They
She was
did
the only
something
one
in
of the.
post.
She was
They
the
like
only
pitched
one
it
of
up
the
a
kid
little?
Yeah,
characters.
yeah.
Okay,
with the same
yeah.
voice.
Because
Yeah.
even as like the kid is just spot on, and that makes sense because Rosie is still playing that character. But like
Yeah.
the kid's funny, like you can kind of get a feel with each character as you see them. Like, you get the feel of like of what's her name, Kala, I believe her name is. Kala is like the mom. Like, you get you can see how compassionate and sweet she is. You can see how guarded Kerchak is immediately. Like, he still kind of goes up and sniffs the baby, but he's like, nah, I ain't the same. I don't want no part of this. But so you can still see that in him. You can see how wide-eyed Tarzan is as a baby, and he continues that even as he gets older, and he finds people that kind of looks like him, and he wants to explore that world more. It's just such a beautifully laid out film. It also, like, it's hand drawn beautifully. Like, it's
Oh
the
yeah,
3D.
the animation style's gorgeous.
The animation is beautiful. Like, you can see where it's hand drawn, but then you can see the things that are like popping out this lit up that's gonna move in the scene,
Like the
because
camera
of the
movements
3D,
and stuff.
the
Yeah.
camera movements. Like the "You'll Be in My Heart" scene is so beautiful, because it's like the last moment where the last part where he says "always," they have like Kala say it, they have the mom say it, and when they pull out from her holding him in the tree, you can see her mouth move, say "always." And I think that's such a small thing, but like, you didn't have to put that in there because most people wouldn't look for it, but I feel like the effort was still there to put to it. And so I love when they do things like that, and I can see it, and it's just great. Like, it has all the elements of like a young kid growing up. You know, they playing pranks on each other and causing mayhem and trouble, and he's always the one getting in trouble, or he's getting blamed for the trouble. But then he grows up to be this like very intelligent, slightly naive, of course, because that's just
I
what
find
it
his
is.
naivety like endearing, though. Normally
It
I
is,
don't,
though.
but in
No,
him it is endearing.
It absolutely is endearing until it gets almost your entire family kidnapped. But I'm just saying, like,
You're not wrong. You're not
you know
wrong.
what I'm saying? Like but it is like, because it's like, it's not intentional. He's just trying to like learn more about who he is, something that he's wanted since he was a kid. I just feel like it's such a beautifully layered story.
Yeah,
that,
and Jane
like,
and her dad literally actually care about the monkeys. Like, how excited they get when they see
You
all
had a
these
good
little
all
things.
kind of feel, right?
So so like they kind of have the same ideals as him in a sense. So he's like, everybody that looks like me does. And it's like, no, they don't, baby boy. Like, and that's the naive part that he had to like learn and grow, and I love that they stayed. Like, I love that they stayed with him. I
Like,
love
her
that they
dad
were like,
stayed too. Yeah.
he was like, Toodle Pip, what am I doing here? what I'm going back to England for. I just love, because if it was, because I would have, as a kid, I was like, I would stay. Like, he could, like, ooh, ooh, ee, ah, ooh. Like, you could teach me how to talk to the animals. Like, what do you mean? Mind you, I used to say that all the time when I was a kid. Like, all the time. But I just love that they stayed, because it's like, you come, I think, like, the dream, at least for, like, the small child inside of me, is to, like, by happenstance, be somewhere and discover a world that I'm like, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah.
And I think, like, even as an adult, I'm still trying to find that part of the world where I'm like, this is where I'm supposed to be. So I think Tarzan has always been like possibility to me. And so, and I think that's why I love this film so much, because it's like the possibility of finding your place in life, because it wasn't so much of Tarzan finding out where he needed to be. It was kind of like a flip of them finding out where they, like Jane and her dad kind of finding out where they needed to be. Like, you know, you're working with people that you think are aligned with you, but they're not. And you've always wanted to see gorillas and be in this world. So be in this world. Like,
yeah.
And I
write
think
some
that's
memoirs, and then when the next boat comes along, we'll get those memoirs back to the mainland.
Yeah.
I would say, like, he's trying to find out where, like you say, he's looking where he belongs, but he was always there.
He's
It was
always
more
there.
about who he needed to be, not where he needed to be.
Yeah.
Which is really cool, because again, the whole thing with Kerchak, you know, that first time he wrestles him down, you're like,
oh my God,
I think he's the alpha now, big guy.
No, for sure. Like, no, for
but
sure.
you know, but he's still like, no, like, out of respect, like, nah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean anything. You're still the man.
Tarzan is burly.
And then when he actually dies, you know, when you get his like Simba moment where he's just kind of like,
He's like,
boom, I'm the man.
One of my favorite
like, perches up and like,
he's like, he puts his hands down.
The rain. I was like, is that what every alpha male does when this? Is this like a tradition in this jungle? Feels like it.
Or let me give you a little insight to, like, you know, this came out in 99, so like 11-year-old me. Let me get a little insight. Okay. She was just discovering life and boys and things like that. All right. The scene where he's fighting some more, when he's fighting the leopard, okay? And the leopard growls at him, and then he growls back at the leopard. My life never been the same since. My life has never been the same since.
So this was your
awakening
moment.
My life has never been the same since.
I definitely had that rush of manhood when he like
Mom,
picks
I
it
feel
up.
weird.
When he picks
funny, Mom.
it up and does the yell, I'm like, yeah, man, let's go.
Absolutely, Brian. I was like, Mr. Stark, I feel funny. I feel funny. I feel funny. Yeah, that'll. And it always pops in my head whenever I watch this movie. I'm like, well, that was the moment. There it is.
Hey, not everybody knows when their moment was. Some people just
a lot of people would say Stephen Summers is responsible for their moment.
In more than one movie.
Shout out to Tony Goldwyn. Gosh.
Weird little aside. I wanted to mention the parents, because I'll do this first. Aina mentioned the parents in chat, and I agree. I would love to know a lot more about Tarzan's parents, because wow, like they really went overboard to try to keep him. No pun intended. To keep him alive, and they went out of their way to build a wonderful, like very
that tree house.
Like,
I know. It's like that's awesome.
Yeah,
I love the
Stanley
like
Robinson of them.
It was
totally.
that, or like Paddington, Stanley kind of thing.
You know what's interesting? I was trying to look at this a little bit, like the timeline between them crashing, building that house, and then dying. It's not that far between itself. Like,
no, it's not. Yeah,
it was like maybe like a
the
month.
cat gets them, obviously.
Yeah, no, it's like maybe like a month into it. It's like boom. They did a lot, but also they accumulated a lot. I was like, what's all this stuff? Was it from the ship?
I think the boat might have wrecked and got the stuff off the.
I assumed that like there's some stuff come ashore. You were just like collecting it.
Well, I mean, I assume they picked the boat apart to build this place, because they didn't have like the tools to make the lumber. So they had to like pick what they had.
But I mean, they're also surrounded by lumber, if we call it.
No, I know, but they didn't have any way of like
tools.
Yeah. So it's probably part boat. You can kind of tell because they have the life raft is the like way down from up there. So
they're very innovative, which lends to Tarzan being just a smart kid, like just kind of grown up being a smart adult, because they created like a home with like You can slide down, come back up. Like
Yeah,
me
and a little
personally,
netting
I
underneath.
would have just been on the beach hoping nobody hurts me because I don't have
Right?
support.
Like, who's doing all that, lugging all that
You
stuff up
feel
that
me?
grade?
That's a lot to lug up
Baby.
there.
And let's call like the mom was doing it with the baby. Like the mom with
Yes!
the baby
Yeah.
was like lumber. I said,
That's pretty bad.
like,
Right? But she was always there every time he needed some help too. It was both of them doing everything together, which was great. I totally forgot what I was going to say, but I do remember I was going to say something about Brendan Fraser because he did get asked, what is the greatest Brendan Fraser movie ever made, and he did settle on The Mummy. I just thought you guys should know that he thinks that's the best.
I saw some trivia that he wanted to voice Tarzan too when I was looking at stuff. But yeah,
that would be great.
Listen, I would have loved that, but I don't know if I would have had the same awakening. I'm not sure.
Right.
Was this so I don't think this is going to be true for Mickey and Brian or myself, but was this your first Tarzan story introduction, Janine and La?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say yeah.
So what were your guys' then?
This opened up the Tarzan floodgates for me. So yeah.
Nice.
I don't remember. I just remember knowing who Tarzan was. I think my dad just kind of, put me on it. I don't think we ever watched the original like black and white film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember being aware of the character.
Especially the yell. The yell was like, I don't know. I think my dad would do it, and you're like, "What's that from?" It's from Tarzan.
Tarzan,
right? Yeah, I don't know how I knew about.
Yeah.
Tarzan Greystoke with Christopher Lambert, funnily enough, from last week.
Oh wow!
It's him and John. No, not John. It's Ian Holm. So it's Christopher Lambert and Ian Holm, and it's definitely a different take, some way serious take on the whole thing. And he actually goes back to England and all this like weird stuff.
That's like the live. It's like the live action one.
Newer one.
Yeah, this is like 90 or 87, 86.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's like the live action one with
Skarsgård.
Yeah, with Skarsgård, where it's like he goes back. With Margot Robbie, he goes back to England and he's like, I
tries to become proper again.
It's like I said, beer. Like,
did you guys ever watch Tarzan in Manhattan?
I never did.
I think that might have been the first time I saw Tarzan.
What?
Okay.
It's an old movie. There's an actor called Joe Lara who I love. He's kind of in a lot of B movies. And he did it, and that's where I was like, "Wait a minute, that looks familiar. I feel like I've seen that before." We
need to do a In Manhattan series because there's a lot of movies that are Tarzan in Manhattan. There's also like that Arnold Schwarzenegger Hercules in New York or whatever.
Oh my gosh! What?
Now, would we also do
his voice
Escape
is
from New
dubbed
York?
too, not his voice.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's not Arnold's voice. It's like this terrible.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he got dubbed.
Actor that they had to dub.
Jason Takes Manhattan. Yeah.
I remember watching that when I was a kid.
Wow.
Oh my God!
What is that?
What is that?
That is series?
No, it's a movie. Hour and a half movie.
Don't like a series. Don't like a New Zealand series. Like straight up, like
they had a big.
Compare that to the one that I'm talking about. This is the serious one.
I remember.
It's so Tubi and Flex.
Yeah, Greystoke is a very serious.
Yeah.
And it's a movie. It's one of those movies where, whatever reason, some of the lines have stuck with me, and it's Ian Holm constantly like telling Tarzan, "Family, family, you're a human, dude. Look at you're not an ape," and it's just repeated. It's still in my head. I've been watching movies for far too long, I think.
I feel like Tarzan, in a way, is kind of like Michael Jackson. You don't know how you know the songs, you just do.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Tarzan is like that. Like you don't know how you know, because I think Tarzan is in kids' books too, like sprinkled out throughout things. Like you just kind of pick him up somehow.
And you've probably seen some version of him too, like
George. Right?
You just Tarzan and Jane and that
or people making references in cartoons.
I mean, I think Marvel even had a Tarzan run for a while. So
Well, that's totally. I mean, in 1912 means it's completely been in fair use for
at least
throughout our life.
Yeah.
But like me, Tarzan, you, Jane, like everybody knows that one too. Like
throughout. And it could be just like the words of people saying like, me, Tarzan, you, Jane, and being like, I kind of know what that is. Your brain's kind of like, I've heard of it.
Yeah. We all know the basic structure of Tarzan.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird how that's like
just in
just
there.
In the ether.
Absolutely.
It is weird, but I don't think that we feel that way about the Jungle Book, though. That's what's weird about it. So why is it that the one that came first isn't as like integrated into our?
I
Yeah.
think 'cause Tarzan was more like adapted screen much earlier because it was like I think there might have been a show back in like the 30s or was it a movie? I can't remember.
Yeah,
So,
they were
like,
old
Now I want to look it up.
movies.
Yeah.
it's been
And
around.
I think, but
on screen, it's been
also I
around
think
longer.
Tarzan for the most part has been like open, right? Because like you got to get rights for the Jungle Book essentially. So
Oh yeah,
that's
I mean,
kind of
owned
it's
by
easier to go. Yeah, it's easier to go grab something that's kind of like public domain and be like, yo, Disney, do you mind if we try to do something better than what you did? And Disney would be like, heck no.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Like, how
Jungle Book
dare?
was going to be an
Man,
independent thing,
1932.
and then Disney took it over.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah, Disney likes to do that. They're like, oh, look, this is beloved story that everybody knows. It's completely fair game. It's ours now.
No, absolutely. And it's less like if you were kind of like basing it off of, I look at it like this, like if you're basing it off of the Jungle Book, like the animated one, right? It's so many songs and things. I think people just stay away from that. Tarzan, it's just like I'm in the woods, man. I'm in the woods with the gorillas. Make a story. Like you don't have to sing. That's why like I think this one is more digestible because like it's not like a lot of
People
overly
breaking into
singing,
song. Yeah.
breaking into song. It's like the animals aren't like dancing and breaking into song, you know. So
yeah.
That is your first Tarzan, 1933.
No, thank you. I'm not liking it.
No awakenings. No awakenings.
Really like
for somebody he was
clean cut. Like
No, for sure.
that is another
I
thing too. Though,
know.
like he probably should have a beard. I would think.
Right?
No,
Okay,
absolutely.
so yeah, that definitely hit me in Jungle Book. I was like, man, this dude's gonna be hairy.
Yeah.
He is like
Yeah.
not hairy.
No,
he is the
neither
opposite
of
of
them
hairy.
were. Yeah.
But I mean, everybody
they're
doesn't grow
clean.
hair though.
That's right,
Everybody doesn't grow hair.
Right. Maybe just
I'm
can't
just
grow
saying.
facial hair.
Maybe you just can't grow facial hair. It's I know so many dudes that be so mad about that. Like I can't grow facial hair to save my life.
I wouldn't like it if I couldn't grow facial hair.
Which is why he
We
was
also
always
talk about.
but he was always labeled like the hairless ape or something like that. So he can't have
Yeah,
me.
they didn't mention that.
That's fair. That's fair. I know it's a cartoon, and what I'm about to say is going to defy that, and I apologize. But the calluses on that dude's feet
Yeah.
Oh
would
yeah.
be so thick, like
I mean,
leather.
you kind of see that in his hands because they're kind of like.
Yeah, his
Yeah,
hands.
Yeah,
Yeah,
his
he has
hands
to,
are
like,
thicker.
you know what I
His
mean?
hands are thicker.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
like
His
that they
body
kind of
is,
added that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I felt the same way about Mowgli because when we was running through the little like marketplace and everything, and he was on the coals.
Yep.
I was like, the calluses he came and feel that.
Oh yeah,
So
he didn't even care. Yeah,
so
He didn't pray. And then think about it, he dropped down from the top to concrete and just like bounced back and was like, let me keep
Superhero
running.
Literally. Oh my
To
God.
give Mowgli some credit, that jump from the cliff in which he killed somebody from was quite impressive. I was like, holy crap, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
you're going to get one shot at this. And it was way up there. So, anyway. All right. So, I guess we're going to rate Tarzan, and then we will go on to next week and talk about what movies we're doing. And it'll be the end of our Nostalgia Week, unless we want to find some way to bonus episode Mickey's nostalgia. Well, maybe we'll do it as a bonus episode later. But since I did start this, I'll rate it first, since that's the right way to do it. I am going to give Tarzan I was going to give it an 8. This conversation is really, really good. So I'm going to give it an 8.5. 8.5.
Okay, 8.5.
I do really like this. I want to watch it again because it's I had to watch it on a smaller screen because the kids were being kind of a nightmare. I think it would be great on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. No, Batsy, she just owes me a dinner for getting you to watch Tarzan.
She was excited for me to see it, so she was anxious. So. Brian, what do you think of Tarzan?
I'm gonna give it a 9.
Sure. There you go.
It's beautiful. I was
That's
just
high
like,
praise.
man,
High praise.
so beautiful. And but yeah, then like was surprised like the emotional connection I was gonna have with it. So crying when animated apes are crying. What's happening?
That's when you know you have feelings. That's
a well-told story, man. That's a well-told story.
Yeah.
How about you, Mickey?
I want to give it a 10, but I'm going to give it a 9 just because I know there's like probably 4 or 5 other Disney movies that I like more, but that's just because of preference, really. This movie could be a 10, but I'm going to give it a 9. The music's so good. The story's so good.
Yeah.
There's too many great things about it. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, 9.
All right. Oh, no.
it
So
You could,
can
but
never.
you won't.
Could never dethrone Lion King. So Lion King's the 10, right? So it's
Right.
like,
all right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
There could be
Lion King does
multiple
deserve.
10s.
There
You know?
could.
Yeah, that's
Very
what I was
good.
thinking. I was like, it's every movie is its own thing and deserves its own number. But hey, we all make our own scales. That's
Fair
No,
enough.
how that goes.
Fair enough.
absolutely.
So yeah. Janine.
Yeah, this is in my top favorite Disney movies. So 10. It's a 10 for me.
Nice. All right, a 10. And I need to ask Lala, or is
Come
it an
on.
obvious? It's
Come
an
on.
obvious 10?
Come on, 7.5. What do you mean? No,
Oh. Wait, what?
come on. It's a 10. I love this film. I connect to it so heavy,
Nice.
and it's me as a person in animated form. I don't know what it is. It's just
Now, for the real students out there, this is the first double 10 from Lala ever that I know of.
All right.
In almost 400 films.
History
She's never
being
done a double 10. So there you go.
yeah.
But
This was, yeah.
This one's not so much the nostalgia goggles, right? Like you genuinely just love this.
I genuinely love this film. It could be. I'm not gonna say it's not any nostalgia in there because I watched it as a child, like my whole
Right.
like
Yeah, of course.
childhood. You know, like it's. I know it's in there, but I just think even as a kid, I was like, this is a solid. I knew that this was different than anything that I watched as a kid. It just felt different. It breathed different. The fact that we saw Clayton's little silhouette hanging, that's different. I didn't really watch the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and they kind of do the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
And
That,
that one-
yes. Fucking,
that whole thing.
They do a good job of like preparing you to. I'm like, because I'm watching that whole thing the whole time. Like they're not gonna do what I think they're gonna do. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, yeah. You see it.
Yeah.
The
'cause
moment
when Tarzan's
they
warning
show-
him and
the
he's
moment
telling
they
him to
show it
stop
go around
cutting.
his neck, the moment
Yeah.
it tightens around his neck, and he's like, Clayton, don't. You're like, oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, they do it. They do
man,
it.
I was like, wow.
And I love that he can mimic.
You
I
see
love
the
that he
dead
can
bodies
mimic
of
the
the parents.
gunshot.
God.
I don't know what that is. When he can mimic the gunshot, I
Yeah.
just know. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god.
I think thought that's what Clayton
And then he
was.
just says,
I
yeah,
love that he
he
loved that he thought that was what Clayton was. Yeah, that's good.
Also, just
Yeah.
like it's kind of like little parallels, like just like in the Jungle Book, where the line that Boone says comes back at the end, where she's like, "What a shame!" Like she just like keeps going, you know. She's like, "What a shame." They do that in Tarzan with the whole like have we met like type of thing that comes back. The tone, he changes his tone so good. Because the first time he's like, "Have we met?" and then he's like, "Have we met?" Like it's like, and the fact that Tarzan could catch on to the fact that like, "Oh, you being shady now,"
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
Good
All
time.
right. So this is the higher of the rated of the two films, which I think I expected. I think I expected that. But we are going to do two more films for nostalgia. This time it's going to be MrSniDBitS picks. This is going to be Explorers, starring Ethan Hawke and the amazing yet long since passed River Phoenix. And then, of course, we've got Pump Up the Volume, starring Christian Slater, which is just at the beginning of my teen years, if I still consider it from my childhood. So we'll get into that. But yeah, this has been episode 10 of season 5 of The Real Study. We really appreciate you being here, Mickey, and for all of you guys. Amazing.
So much fun.
Love you guys. And Aina, thank you for being such an amazing producer. And
Thank
all
you,
of
Hannah.
We
You're
appreciate you as well.
amazing.
And we will see you guys next week. Have fun. Be safe out
So,
there.
follow us on everything. Join us on this.